Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'll be ranking every single tank in War Tycoon. Now, if you've been watching for a while, you would have known that, well, I made a similar video ranking every single helicopter in War Tycoon. I think it's probably a great time to rank every single tank in War Tycoon, from worst to best, of course. And hopefully the first tank in today's video doesn't surprise any of you, but it's obviously going to be the M4 Sherman. It's a very basic tank. It's relatively slow, only being able to go 40 miles per hour. It's also just slow in terms of your turret moving is so slow. Look at this. If I had to do a 180 to shoot that helicopter, man, it would take forever. Also, just everything about it. It's a beginner tank. It's like the starter tank. Everyone has it, so of course it's not going to be the best. Like, the damage isn't very good. You only get one machine gun, which does okay damage. Your health kind of sucks. And honestly, this is probably one of the few tanks where, well, you can't just annihilate any helicopter. Although, obviously, it's still a tank, so this thing annihilates against any infantry. So as you can see, we have this guy, and, well, like it was nothing, we just absolutely annihilated him. But anyways, enough with this boring little garbage tank. Time to move on to the next one. Alright, so the second worst tank I'm going to be going over in today's video, hopefully this surprises no one, it's the T-72. This thing is... well, I mean, it's not all that bad. It's pretty much just an upgraded Sherman in every single way. The turret speed is so much faster. It's still not super fast, but as you can see, you can complete a 180 so much faster. And because of the fast turret mobility, it makes this vehicle, well, pretty great for taking out helicopters. Because obviously it one-shots. I'm pretty sure every tank one-shots, but this one you can actually hit the helicopters, or at least you have a much higher chance. I mean, for a tank that you unlock this early, it's not all that bad. I mean, as you can see, I've put quite a bit of time on this, judging by the fact I have the golden skin on it. It's obviously not bad. Also, one of the pluses about this tank is that you can actually aim down with it, which makes it really great for taking out people's, well, generators, because as I'm going to be going over later in today's video, some tanks don't have that luxury. Overall, it's a great tank. It's a pretty big upgrade from the M4 Sherman, but you know, nothing crazy. And another thing worth mentioning is it also has smoke, which can be extremely useful at times. It can either be useful for, well, just getting away from people, like if you're at low HP and you have to get away from a guy with an RPG, if you have smoke, but it can also prevent lock-on missiles, although sometimes the game is a little bit broken and it doesn't really work. Anyways, as you can see, overall, pretty solid tank, although by far not the best in this game. Anyways, time to move on. Okay, now we're getting on to the third tank in today's video. I'm in it right now. This is probably going to be my most controversial take in today's video, and obviously that's going to be the Mouse tank. And that's because, well, it practically sucks at almost everything that tanks are supposed to do. It can't take out helicopters because, well, I guess technically it can, but it is really bad at it because just look at how slow that turret turns, man. Practically, if you're going up against any half-decent helicopter pilot, they're going to be destroying you. Although, it doesn't just not turn, it also doesn't even go fast. Like, if you're trying to cross a map in this tank, this is probably the worst tank to do it in, because this thing is so unmaneuverable, as well as it being the slowest tank in the game. It's also not good at taking out infantry because, well, you can't really move the turret all that fast. So, if someone's jumping around and they're close to you, you're not going to be able to shoot them. You're going to have to jump out and, well, shoot them with your gun, which is not ideal. Even in, a tank fight, if it's close range, almost any tank can beat you because, well, they can just drive around in circles and you're going to be moving too slow to even do anything about it. Yeah, this thing is just, it's not very good for really anything. Actually, I shouldn't say that because this thing absolutely excels at taking out people's bases. As you can see, we're going to test it on this guy. And because this is the only tank in the game with two main cannons, this thing does insane damage. Now, that was obviously a low health shield, although a normal tank wouldn't be able to kill someone's shield that fast, even like a low level shield. Although, as you can see, the slow turning is coming out really not good right here. Because, as you can see, I had to jump out to kill this guy. Yeah, I mean, this tank is not it. Also, helicopters, man. I mean, I'm gonna try to take out this guy. Okay, now I'm at 15 health. Yeah, I'm gonna just go back into the tank shelter. So, yeah, this is kind of a bad tank for anything except raiding people's bases. Obviously, it's not my favorite tank. But now that we got this controversial tank out of the way, time to move on to the Leopard. And, well, honestly, it's just kind of a great overall tank because it is, like, so much cheaper. It only costs, well, one tank part in each slot to spawn this tank compared to, well, 2 for the mouse tank. And, well, this is just a better tank in every way. Like the speed, this goes 10 miles per hour faster. It accelerates faster. Look at how fast the turret moves, man. This thing is insanely fast. Especially because I was just in the mouse tank. This thing feels so fast to drive. And yeah, this thing is so much better. It's honestly a pretty solid tank. It's an upgraded T-74 because, well, it has the smoke, it has the main cannon, it just has more damage, more health. It's just an overall solid tank. This thing can take out helicopters so unbelievably good, man. Well, what is going on in here? You know what? I'll just one-shot him. Yep, I mean, this thing kind of annihilates. And boom, we got him. This tank is so much better. It's just insane. Like, as you just saw, I got a bunch of kills with very low effort. Although it does have less health. I mean, it also costs half as much. So, overall, it's a great tank. Honestly, probably one of the best tanks in the game. And it's definitely a tank that is 100% worth grinding the operation for. Even though it takes quite a while, it's 100% worth it. This tank is so good. But anyways, now that we're done with that, time to move on to what I would consider the best free no Robux tank in the game, and that is the M1 Abrams. Now, this is my personal tank of choice, well, for pretty much everything. As you can see by me having the cosmic skin on it, I use this tank a lot more than any other tank in the game. And that's because it's just way better than any other tank in the game. It's fast, nothing crazy, but it's still 45 miles per hour. It also has extremely high turret mobility, even higher damage, and even higher health than the Leopard. So it's basically just a Leopard that's better. Although it does cost 2 parts instead of 1 to spawn it. This is by far the best tank for taking out helicopters because, well, especially with the machine gun, just look at how fast this thing moves. Like, it moves insanely fast. Like, it practically moves as fast as I can move my mouse. Honestly, if I were to describe this tank, it's sort of like a tank that cranks everything up to 11. Honestly, I would say the only thing that's bad about it is you can't really aim all that much down with the main cannon, but at the same time, the machine gun on this tank is so good that, like, it doesn't really even matter. Oh, dang. I may have had a slight lapse in my judgment. I accidentally jumped out of my tank to kill the guy, and he took my tank. Oh well, I know I said you can't really aim down with the main cannon, which could be bad for infantry, but I mean, as you saw, the machine gun is good enough that it doesn't really matter. If you're wondering why I didn't include the Abrams X in this ranking, it's because, well, I would never spend, well, 20 bucks on a Roblox game. It's just not worth it. Honestly, if you need a $20 tank to get kills in War Tycoon, then you're probably just really bad. But anyways, that's it for today's video. So make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.